Episode 18, Galaxy 4. Wow, hey, if you're listening to these as they're coming out, you may be going, wait, hang on, that wasn't meant to be the next episode. That's right, this is the first time we've got an episode that we missed actually be released after we've recorded it. So
it's a throwback.
We're going back.
Yeah.
We're going back.
This
will keep happening.
You know what's weird? I'd never expected the Doctor to become part of HoloLive. Really? Honestly.
He is referring to the fact that on the main menu,
he looks like a VTuber.
PNG that makes him look like a VTuber a little bit.
He looks like a PNG tuber.
But Galaxy 4. For reference, this is an episode just after the Time Meddler, the episode with the monk and the Vikings and everything, and just before everything that happened in season 3, which at time of recording we have basically skipped most of it as well because most of it's lost. So what happens in Galaxy 4 though, dear, now that we've finally been able to watch it?
Well, it's animated and it's in black and white still, which is weird. They could have animated it in color, but it's fine.
They do have a color version, but I opted to watch it in black and white.
Of course you did. Okay, so it's a desert, and the TARDIS swoops in,
looks wrong.
And the trees are made of bones. Steven's getting a haircut, and we want to see where they are, but Vicky is being a twat about the haircut, and the Doctor's like, I don't hear anything, this is weird. But he's like, everything seems normal, there's just enough oxygen, everything's fine. And then there's a robot outside, and Steven tells the Doctor to go take a shower, and the pillbug Bumbleboo is back and toots at the TARDIS, and he toots on the TARDIS, marking his territory, then leaves. But then Vicky hears the thing, and everyone's worried about it. And then the robot maybe sends a message out and just kind of leaves, and Vicky kind of hula dances a little bit, and she's like, hee hee, it's a chamba bamba boo. And then this planet smells like flowers, apparently, and has just enough, I wrote hat. This planet has just enough oxygen. It also has 3 suns, and apparently roses, but then a chumbly shows up, and when poked, it has a gun. And the Doctor tells it that they come in peace, and then it kind of signals to the Doctor, and then Steven literally tries to assault it. And apparently the robot can hear, but not see, and then it just kind of fucks off and burns all the flowers away. But now they're hostage, I guess, and then they're walking, and we see some hot women up on the rocks above that have guns and also spider webs, and they all look the same. And then they throw a net on the chubby, and it stops, and they apparently have rescued the Doctor in them. Their leader is called Maga. They are not people, they are things they murder and kill, apparently. And also, more of them are showing up now, and then they circle the other chum and get the net off before continuing, so they all run away to the new Fallout 1 hideout, and it used to be a spaceship. And then Maga is dressed in more black than everyone, and everyone seems to be scared of her. Apparently, they're in a war, and one of them is going to die, and also the planet might disintegrate in like 14 days. Neither of them come from this planet. Shit. The ladies were just wanting to colonize, and also they kill men, because Tumblr. So, unless they're needed. And then the ladies also are made in test tubes if they're dressed in white and they don't have brains. Apparently, the chum attacked their ship, and they both crashed. And then, that doesn't really make sense, but whatever. And then the chum come up to the ship and attack it before it just kind of revives and sends out a message, then leaves. So, they're just like, I just wanted to scare it off because we've never actually killed one. So they're like, maybe the ladies were wrong. The Doctor is going to see if the planet is actually dying. Also, Vicky's going to stay behind as a trust thing. So they leave and stare at the Chumbababoos, trying to get into the TARDIS for a while. And then Maga is being a bitch to the others and telling them about how they'll die and shit. And Vicky just kind of sleeps nearby. And then the chum bums try to laser the TARDIS and it doesn't do much and they leave. And then the Doctor and Steven head into the TARDIS and do some science, and they're like, actually, the planet's going to explode tomorrow? That kind of sucks. And then that's where it cuts, so. Oh, wait! These are episodes! I can call it an episode!
Yes, you can call it episode.
Yes!
Back to when they were called episodes.
Yes! Anyway. I hope you know that I have
episode...
given them like 20 different names, including Chum Bum, Bumba Jums, and
I know.
Bumbies.
So long as they're all the same variation of like chum or chumbly or chum
like
chum
that.
or chum.
Later on,
it doesn't matter.
I just called them bums.
It's not like when you call Davros just random names and no one could figure out who you were talking about because you just called him like Davros, David, Jared, Derek. Like, just calling him... like, have a theme that connects them all so people can still at least figure out what you're saying. So this episode initially was very different. Initially, it wasn't women. The Dravens weren't women. They were men with a bunch of pretty boys as the muscle. Gar was the leader, not Marga. And initially, this was written as Ian, Barbara, and Vicky episode by the writer. And technically, this could be construed as like fan fiction in a way, because he was such a big fan of the show. He basically just wrote a script and submitted it and was like, hey, can you guys like, would you guys like? And they were like, yeah, actually, this looks pretty neat. Fuck it, we'll make this. But we're going to change a whole heap of shit. So Steven's actor, Peter Purves, is kind of hates the script because Steven's kind of out of character. He's gone on record saying Steven's out of character in this episode, and the fact that it was in a lot of Barbara's lines were just transferred to him, and the way he's forced to say them feminizes him. Which, I mean, okay.
Sure, buddy.
But basically, a lot of the dialogue and everything that used to be Barbara's has moved to him instead. And so he is a bit out of character, but, I mean, they had to shoehorn it in somehow.
But it doesn't make him fucking feminine. Whatever. It's fine.
No, he's not meaning it's like, it makes me queer, or it makes me a woman.
I don't know.
No, it just feminizes him in a way. Like, he's not acting like the manly man that Steven's kind of meant to be. But yes, the Chumblies are basically a cross between, like, the Daleks and, like, the helpful robots in, like, general science fiction at the time. When small changes were made, though, the episode kind of gelled together better. Supposedly, Verity Lambert, the producer, who was kind of getting ready to make the next few stories that were meant to be, like, her swan song, like, the big thing she was working on, she didn't have much involvement in this episode. But when they were like, hey, we need to change a few things, she was like, hey, what if you made the Dravens all women? And supposedly one could construe this as like her taking like a bit of a shot at the sort of boys club atmosphere of the BBC. What with the whole test tube baby aspect of the lower grunts on the scale are test tube babies who are just grown with no intelligence. They're just told to follow orders from up top. But yeah, what happens in the next episode, dear?
Stuff and things, mostly. Including the fact that the bushes still look like dinosaur bones, and I can't get over this. Steven and the Doctor notice a chum bum with some device headed to a TARDIS. It's a bomb. The Doctor is confused, but then it explodes, everyone falls over. Whoops, everyone's fine because nothing can harm the TARDIS, but the chums are like, what the fuck? So, okay, time to leave, and everyone's like, what's happening? What the fuck? Meanwhile, Vicky's like, I don't want to eat leaves, because apparently they eat leaves. If the Doctor isn't back soon, they'll go look for him, but also you can't escape, we need your help. The Doctor is here, mentions the spaceship is old-fashioned and shit, inferior metal, and then he's like, why the fuck are we talking about this? Like, you brought it up, and it's fucking pointless. Vicky's very upset, everyone's fine. Doctor lies about the 14 Dawn things and just goes, yeah, no, they were 100% telling the truth. Yeah, it's fine. And then maybe accidentally, apparently the Humbadums killed another soldier or whatever, because apparently they're evil. And the Doctor's like, nah, I'm not taking you off this planet. And so Maga pulls a gun, threatens them, and Steven tries to assault her. Doesn't work. Okay, well, we'll help now, I guess. We don't have a choice. But then the lady's like, I think you're lying. And so they want to kill Vicky. And he's like, it's 2 Dawns, actually. So go steal their spaceship, bro, while we hold Steven captive. So Dawn is like, when is Dawn? There's like 3 suns here. The Doctor's like, it's probably only like a couple hours. It's fine. The Doctor's like, they didn't attack the ship. It's really weak. The laser would have just murdered it. What the fuck? So, okay, on a hike we go. Meanwhile, Steven steals a gun and is like, it doesn't work. Let me just pop, here, your gun's clean. I'm gonna pretend this didn't happen. And he's like, can I have some food? And they're like, here, have some pills. And he's like, oh, well, what does that lady eat? And they're like, better food. And he's like, can I have that? And they're like, no. And then Steven's like, that's not fair. And they're like, oh, you're right, it's not fair. But then the leader comes in, and she's like, what the fuck? And basically it's like, I'm gonna punish you now. And then apparently she hates Steven, but also tries to say, hey, just take us into the TARDIS. And he's like, good for you. I can't even pilot it, so whatever. Then he puts himself, or Steven gets put in the corner. Wait, why don't we just kill Steven? Maga's
no
like...
No one puts Steven in the corner.
Nobody. Maga does, apparently.
Oh, yeah, Maga does.
Mm-hmm. Is like, we'll do it when I want. And then meanwhile, the Doctor and Vicky are watching the bums, and Vicky throws a rock because they can only hear sound in front of them, and the Doctor's like, what the fuck? And then so they just follow from behind on the ship. Meanwhile, they're reading the power, and one needs to be charged, and she's like, I'm gonna punish you for not being charged enough. And then cut back to the bums, apparently drilling for something is investigation time. And then a bumble beeps at them and then drives away when they don't move. And then comparatively to the ladies, the pum-pums building is super advanced and something smells weird, but they don't know what that smell is. A little bit like farts and pee, honestly. And then another hoodlum drives by and beeps a whole lot before continuing on, and they place the smell as ammonia. And then the hub at the entrance realizes they've moved and goes back to fucking murder them, I guess, maybe. And they find a broken lumbum in a repair-looking shop window thing, and they tap it, but it just kind of goes, 5 more minutes. And then they see a fucking lamprey in the window, and Vicky screams, and yeah,
Vicky dies.
Yep.
Vicky's dead.
No, just scream. Just scream. Anyway.
So a lot of this, as you probably figured out, is a basic Doctor Who story, straight from the 60s. Absolutely 60s one of like, hey, you know, the people are the bad guys, and the alien monsters are the good guys.
Ooh.
Have I just blown your mind, guys? I've just blown your mind. Supposedly there was a bit of press hubbub about this episode because of the women. Tiny bit of outrage, not much really. But the majority of like the attention of the episode from like the audience mainly was on the Chumblies. Kids fucking love the Chumblies, let me tell you. They called in and were like, I like the Chumblies. They would beat the Daleks any day. And we're like, can we see the Chumblies again? Sir, please. They were very happy and excited to see it. But only 6 minutes of footage initially remained of this episode from episode 1, and it wasn't really that interesting. It was just 6 minutes of random footage. The rest was completely lost until I believe 2011, when episode 3 was found, Airlock, due to, I believe, our good old friend censorship, because the ending of 3 is, well, terrifying. We'll get to it, but especially in the 60s, it's quite violent. But yeah, I believe that's why episode 3 survived. I might be wrong. I can't seem to find where I was reading it. But yeah, Galaxy 4 is kind of a very stock standard episode with not really much to say. A very early era of Doctor Who, to be sure. But what happens in the next episode of it, dear?
Well,
Vicky screaming?
Yeah, mostly. It's live action now, and the thing that I said looked like a lamprey looks nothing like a lamprey. But then Nabombum is driving around, and the Doctor and Vicky try to hide, and it kind of works. And then when trying to get away, a door closes on Vicky, and apparently something about them not being able to go outside because of ammonia, so we're gonna fuck with the machine. Also, Vicky's now a hostage. The Doctor needs time! So much time, in fact. Back on the lady ship, should we do a patrol? We always do a patrol at this time. Why can't we do a patrol right now, Maga? And Maga has, like, this whole fucking... It's kind of weird, honestly. Like, it's facing directly at the camera and just having this monologue constantly, and then taking a couple steps and continuing to look directly at the camera and continuing the monologue about how she wanted soldiers. She didn't want soldiers, she wanted people who could think, and she doesn't understand why humans help each other and would die for one another, and then also maybe we just take the spaceship and then watch them all die a horrible death and enjoy every single moment of it, and it's just like, okay. Alright, time to go on patrol, I guess. Back with Sarah, she's being beeped at a lot, and then it records her voice, and now they can talk. And they're like, who are you? No, who are you? And hey, ooh. Oh, the ladies are liars. That's a big shock. The Bumples have speakers to transmit thoughts because they have no vocal cords. Also, we don't look like humans, so if we showed you what we look like, it might shock you, kind of like how the ladies got shocked. Cut to the doctor working on the machine for half a second. Apparently the two ships just hung out in space, not doing anything for like 4 days. And then when one turned to leave, the ladies fired, and then they fired, and then they both crashed. And then when they went to help the ladies, they found an injured one, went to help her, but Maga showed up, shot her first, and shot the soldier in the as well, killing her. So, you know, they're like, we'll still take them off the planet because, we're kind of nice, I guess. Also, I can't breathe oxygen, so let's go stop the doctor from, fucking that up. Steven is going to break out of the spaceship now because a lady fell over and he has a gun. Then he gets away and sees a humbum outside the door and runs back into the ship and is trapped basically between two airlock doors. Cut to Vicky stopping the doctor, explaining things, and he's like, oh shit, sorry. Let's go inside. And then he's like, wait, where's that one going? And he's like, it's repairing the fucking damage you did, asshole. Apparently they're drilling for power, but they don't know what to do with the gas that they have. And the doctor's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll give you my power. Whatever. There's only 4 of you left. We could give you the power to escape. And Steven is reported to escape by the tum-tums. And cut to Steven just hanging out in between the doors. So they're like, okay, cool. You need to make a choice. And he's like, I don't want to. It's like, okay, what if we remove all the air though? And he's like, no, don't do that. You're so sexy. Cut to the one lady on patrol watching them all of them rush away to go help Steven and holds them at gunpoint. And then Vicky fakes that they captured the machines and they're going to listen to everything they say while another machine comes from behind and attacks her and they take her gun. She's like, kill me. And they're like, nah. And then meanwhile, Steven still hasn't given up, is just hanging out before deciding to go outside, but now he can't because the door is locked because of pressure, so he's fucked and dying in the corner. And that's episode 3.
Steven's fucking dead in an airlock.
Hell yeah, he is.
Can't breathe. Gonna die. Steven's choking out on the floor now.
Woohoo!
Wake up, Steven.
Oh shit, Steven.
Oh shit, we forgot to wake up Steven.
Oh shit, Steven's not waking up.
So it wasn't just Steven's actor that hated the story. William Hartnell and Maureen O'Brien, who played the Doctor, and Vicky also were not real big fans of it. Things got so heated that staff behind the scenes basically threatened to fire William Hartnell because he refused to do it. Mainly the producer was like, listen, if just fucking do it, it's your job. And Maureen O'Brien's complaints about the stories led to John Wiles, the producer, not renewing her contract beyond its expiry, beyond an episode. So that's why she didn't last longer than only a few episodes. Because they were just like, oh, if you're going to complain, okay, bye. The 60s, everybody. But
Woohoo!
yes. Woohoo, we love it. There's more to talk about in that, but I'll save it for the one day that we may actually be able to watch The Mythmakers, because there's going to be a lot to talk about in that episode, because it's about a Greek Helen of Troy. Haha. Why? But final little bit of trivia for you, dear. Chumbly is a portmanteau of chum and friendly. The writer wrote stage directions for the robots with invented verbs like chamble, chutter, chingle, jink, alongside jingle and chitter. one of the people. So imagine being told to chamble over there, dear, and chutter along.
Uh-huh.
You like chumblies, don't you? Don't you, dear? You like
No,
chumblies?
I really don't.
You like chumblies?
Really don't.
What happened in episode 4, dear?
Well, we're back to animated, by the way, and the ladies are freaking out about the hostage, but then they realize the machine is coming with a bomb to get Steven out, and then they get Steven out, and he's good, and he keeps walking with Vicky while holding a gun, and then the ladies chase after them, and then they're like, bro, we're gonna kill you, and then the humbles tell the ladies to just go back inside, because at this point they're not gonna spare them anymore, and honestly, we have better guns than you. And so now we check out the forward hatch and try to escape. We're going to plan an escape because there's a hump in front of the ship watching. And the lampreys are transferring their power from ship to ship, so we gotta hurry. Steven's told to stay and get some rest. But then he just has like this whole moment where he's like, what the fuck? Should I trust you? Why do I trust anybody? And then he's like, wow, you just accuse us of stealing the TARDIS? And he's like, oh. Sorry, I thought you were sus. Thought you vented, bro. And then he also...
Thought you vented.
Yeah. Thought I saw you vent, I'm sorry. The lime green and the dark green look so close together, okay? I should have said something. Anyway, also I heard that the ladies are gonna attack the ship at some point, so there's that. And they're like, it's fine. Then a couple hours left, planet's threatening to explode. The ladies attack that bomb outside, and that's great. And then Vicky and the doctor make it back, so now just like to get the power. And then they're like, okay, cool. We know an attack is coming, but it's fine. And then the rum-pum-pum-pums are thought to have prepped for them trying to attack the cord too. And the ladies are now here, or at least one of them is, and she's shot and paralyzed, and it's fine. She's kind of the only one... Okay, spoilers. Hold on, we'll get to that. The doctor brings Vicky and Steven inside to see the bum's face, while we also see the ladies here to attack. Vicky isn't really doing great because she's inhaling a little bit of ammonia. So they leave, and then the MAGA crew is firing guns back and forth between them. The doctor's like, at the cable, and then there's like a beep beep, and then the ship's ready to go. And so they're like, cool, we'll escort you out, but then the robot's gonna die. And then MAGA sees everyone escaping, and we watch the bums leave. And there was a whole moment where the stream froze, and I just started singing random shit. So, basically...
See, I thought you were because, I mean, they were just running to the TARDIS. That's literally it.
Okay, I didn't know that,
and it just kept cutting back and forth between the Chumbly, the Dravens, and the team.
Yeah, I just thought it was very funny. Anyway... So they run back, and we basically cut for me to Maga basically sacrificing all of her crew, watching the planet blow up around her, and then falling into fucking lava. And then we watch Vicky and Steven going, oh, isn't that a pretty planet? Watching everybody die. And then, oh, my ankle kind of hurts. And then Steven's like, let's just hang out here. And the doctor's like, yes, please, I don't want any more danger and shit. And then Vicky kind of looks to the monitor, and she's like, ooh, that's a pretty planet. And they're like, ooh, let's go there. Cut to that planet with a dead man. He's actually unconscious. Animals screeching with a thorn in his arm, infecting him with some shit. And he also is remembering that he has to kill a bunch of shit. So, totally not going to have any issues at all, right? Anyway.
None.
It's fine. So... that was that.
It's all fine.
Do I get to guess the episode name next?
Well, you don't, because they showed it on the fucking screen.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure it was that adventure to the planet over there.
Yep, that's it. That's it, the adventure to the planet. Sure, dear. So Galaxy 4. An episode that exists in a microcosm. And also now on Blu-ray and DVD. Buy it now.
Yeah.
What do you think, dear?
I don't know. It was just kind of annoying, honestly.
But don't you love the Chumblies?
I mean, I had more fun in the commentary cracking jokes about renewable energy, but it's fine.
But don't you love the jump?
4. I don't hate it, but I really don't want to watch it again.
Okay. 4. And that right there is Galaxy 4.
My favorite episode ever.
Next up,
my heart is broken.
Next episode, Mission to the Unknown.
No, it's Mission to that planet over there.
Mission to that planet over there. My apologies.
Yes.
What do you think the name of the planet is? Just give me. You're not gonna. It's not a word that you'll know. Just give me. What do you think the planet's called?
Homestuck.
Yep, they're going to the planet Homestuck. Sure, dear. Okay, whatever. The planet Homestuck. Okay, goodbye, everybody. We're going to the planet Homestuck. Fuck you.
You told me I wouldn't guess it. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.